Hello everybody! Welcome. It's another Friday, which means it's another Friday with Dannphan and Labor Day weekend, guys. I don't know if you guys have plans for the extended weekend. Some people like to throw barbecues. Some people just like to laze about at home and watch anime. Either way, I respect it, alright? See, we got Brian and Gabe in the chat. Yeah, 3-day weekend. It's always nice, always nice. Taking an internet break. Well, that's good. You know, clear your head a bit, especially from all of the ick that tends to be online. New background music? Is it? Every now and then I change which one I use, but this is just something that they have on StreamYard that you can choose to play in the background during streams. Make it a little bit less quiet and awkward, as you do tend to just every now and then have awkward pauses when you're, talking live. I can't use my editing magic when I'm live, so I just will say and do stupid shit all the time. But that is part of the issue. I imagine life being a Twitch streamer, that must be so much more exhausting and stressful, because just being live all the time, oh man, the amount of mistakes and random shit you say, especially when you're incentivized to keep talking, because at some point you just turn this switch in your brain that you just say whatever you're thinking out loud because you're incentivized to just keep talking. And sometimes you just think a bunch of crazy shit. It's completely out of your control. Sometimes you just think something super random and strange, and if you're just blurting it out, then you look like an absolute crazy person. So I would not want to ever be an actual Twitch streamer. I have some sympathy to people who do those super long streams and get their money that way. Whew, that's not my thing, that's for sure. I like streams just as they are, when they're contained. They're just an hour, maybe 2 hours, but no, not super long streams for me. Not my thing, especially doing it super duper often. Hey, thanks for the 20, Mark. Finally, Friday. Well, hope everybody's been having a good week. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. It's always just before the Labor Day holiday. But that's okay, because celebrating the Labor Day holiday, if you look at the stores, they're already putting out Halloween stuff. Halloween is just creeping into... This is supposed to be my month, but no, Halloween stuff everywhere. It's very funny. It comes earlier and earlier every year. It's why don't you just put in Christmas stuff at this point? Why don't you just put every holiday that comes up at the end of the year, put it all in the store at the same time, if you're just gonna do it this early anyways. But yeah, it was a perfectly good birthday. We didn't do too much. It's just, kind of simple dinner and whatnot. I did get a nice gift in my email. Oops, maybe I can pull it up. It's a little animation. You might remember this guy, has done a couple animations. But this one was just pretty cool. So I'll show you guys. Did this in celebration as a little gift for my birthday. I mean, nice colors already. I already kind of like it, right? And it is an animation of Riken! Woo! OC character animation. Very cool. Obviously, that comes from the Reaper series, which I am working on as much as I can whenever I have the time. Very fun stuff. Can't wait till book 2 is out for everybody to read. It's gonna be a little while, but we're at the halfway point, kind of, sort of at the halfway point. There are some like extra edits that I want to do before finishing up that second half, but I'm not going to be able to work on it for a little bit of a while because next week we're actually going to a pretty, well, I don't want to say a big convention, but big in the sense that it's going to take up a lot of time and it's a little bit out of the way to get to. We're going to BaseCon again. We went last year. Adam liked it, so we're going to go back. There's a lot of genuine readers there, which is something that's extremely valuable to find because, you go to these comic conventions and these anime conventions, and a lot of the time the people going there don't really read. Like they read, but they don't really read. A lot of the time they're just they're into something because it's popular, or I don't know, they like the IP or they think a character is cute. They don't really want to read or check out new stories. Not that this is always the case with everyone who goes there, but that's like a lot of the people who stop by our table. They're like, haha, I don't read. Or something to that extent. They're like, oh, I'll wait for the anime to come out. I'll wait till the Netflix at it. You should talk to Netflix. Which is why it's very valuable to like go to a convention where it's all people going there are avid and excited readers who like really want to does the video have sound? Maybe it does. I think it's just like a howling sound, but I just didn't want to like blast the audio in case it was super loud by accident. Thanks for another 10. I volunteered to proofread. If you need it, just let me know. Sure thing. I will eventually need proofreaders, but I have to actually finish like the final draft first, because right now it's all kind of art stuff, and I am publishing each chapter as I finish it on the Subscribe Star for the $5 tier. If you guys want to read the chapters as soon as they come out, that is the place to do it. But even those chapters, those are like extra early sneak peeks before like I even do like final edits or anything else. Those are like really raw versions of the chapters. So I'll have to wait till I'm like I've got it like as good as it can be, and then I'll start handing it over to some proofreaders, some beta readers, see what they think, and if they catch any typos or anything. There were typos in the first book. Tragically, I think there was one specifically in the first book, which isn't that bad, but should have been 0. It should have been 0, so not good. It's one of those weird ones where like I think it was the E and the I were like reversed, right? Every now and then you get a word like that and your brain like automatically corrects it when you're reading the word. It's tricky. But you know how it is. Oh, happy belated birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's been good. It's been a good life so far. Although I'm kind of at the age where you stop getting excited about getting older and instead it just fills you with dread. I'm glad that so many people online think that I'm so young, in a way. There's so many like comments every now and then where people are like, oh, you don't understand, you're just a high schooler, or something condescending like that. But obviously it doesn't affect me at all because I'm a full-grown adult. And, yeah, thanks for the compliment. Like in a way they're sort of complimenting me by saying, oh, I look so young. Thank you. Can't even get mad. But yeah. next week there's not going to be a Friday with Dannphan because I'll be at this convention that's pretty far away. But there will be a video. There's a video that's just kind of automatically set to upload. It's another lighthearted one, so no cringe reading for a little while. But we do have another cringe reading, which is the DC Pride, the newest DC Pride of this year. And then the other thing, which is kind of a fun video, but is also kind of cringe. We did another real or fake DCYA comics. Fun, right? We brought Melee James back and we played another round, and this time I actually did include fake DC comics. I mean, I could do multiple more videos where I only use real DC comic plot lines and completely fool them, but for that video I decided, okay, I'll play by fair rules and I'll actually include fake ones and I'll actually try to make it tricky. So that was a fun video. I didn't, for the punishment though, I had Adam pick which comic to read for punishment. He picked a very weird one. Weird, not in the sense that it's social justice cringe or anything. It's just kind of normal cringe. But yeah, that was a strange one for punishment. So hopefully you guys will find that equally as entertaining as the Avengers, forcing them to read Avengers Academy, which they were horrified at. Yeah, that's how it is. Oh, man. That reminds me, I got another gift from a fan, but I didn't bring it up with me. I left it downstairs. So some of you might remember the user who is occasionally in the chat, Chest High Walls. He sent me a cursed birthday gift. It is the printed version of Avengers Academy, because they did actually do a printed compilation version of it. He had it sealed and blessed by a priest and sent it to me as a gift. Unbelievable. So yeah, it's not even the only super cringe comic that I have in my possession right now, because David also sent me a different user. David sent me the Harley Quinn Fartacular comic, which I am terrified to open because I don't know if it'll smell or not, and I would prefer that one to be blessed by a priest first before I open it. We need them both blessed by priests before I can accept these gifts. But yes, so now I have a physical copy of Avengers Academy that is a priest blessed. One way to find out. No, not opening. We need yeah, we need to hang an air freshener off of it. I mean, they are historical comics, I'll give them that. Very historic. Who's reading Avengers Academy? I gotta know that they have readers. And surely they can't be lying if they would go as far as printing it in physical. Because, me and Chest High Walls, we always just assumed that the reason why they're keeping it as a webcomic on Marvel Unlimited is because they really don't want anyone to see it. It's just a method of funneling money or, fraud. But apparently I have been told that they have readers. I do not see a fan base anywhere online per se. I have seen maybe one Tumblr post about Avengers Academy once upon a time, but I'm not really on Tumblr. Maybe that's where they all are. Maybe that's why I don't see them. They're all on Tumblr. They are the last 20 users that are on Tumblr. Who knows? This could be why. This could be the explanation. Whoa, just a bad comic rare these days. Yeah. They're historical bad comics, although I think I'm the only one who's covering Avengers Academy. I don't think any of the other comic channels are covering it. I could be wrong. Let me... well, I gotta, like, search it while I'm, like, not logged into YouTube, otherwise it'll just show... Let's see, Avengers Academy... I'll specify and I'll say Marvel's voices. Has anyone else covered these? Well, my video comes up first. And then a bunch more of my videos. And then this one random video from a year ago comes up. It only has like 100 views. Yeah, I don't see anyone else really covering it as far as like reviewing. There's Marvel's Avengers Academy, but that's different. Oh, is this an interview? Oh, there's like an interview with, I think, the writer of Avengers Academy. Only 67 views on that video. Yeah, okay, so... pretty much... just me covering Avengers Academy. Nobody else wants to touch it, I guess. It's too much. It's too much for the other comic review channels. But that's all fine. I'll take upon this burden. They also probably don't want to get a Marvel Unlimited subscription account. And I don't think it's pirated anywhere. But if it has supposed fans, maybe there is a pirated version of it somewhere. It had a printed version somewhere. Maybe. Who's to say? Think it's because it's so obscure that people might not be aware of it? Maybe. Although, like, some of my videos got, like, pretty high. At least, like, the last one got a pretty high view count. I don't know. What is my highest view count on an Avengers Academy video? I think it might have just been that last one that was pretty high. And, you know, even that is not as high compared to something like I Am Not Starfire or Gotham High, where it's like 100,000. Yeah, I guess that last one was the highest view count at 12,000. Second highest would be 5,000. It is like a very interesting hook for a video title, though. It's like they made a trad wife TikToker the villain. They did do that, and they punched her right in the face. There is no lie as far as the thumbnail and the title goes. That is just what they did. She's the villain. She's bad. 67 views, probably more than how many copies were sold. Damn! Got him! Yeah, I have no idea. No clue. I mean, I can't imagine that they would actually go forward with printing it unless it was somewhat popular on their Unlimited website. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things where they're trying to pretend that it's popular. But why? Why would you want anyone to notice that this exists? This is, I mean, it looks really bad for Marvel. When you actually read the comic, it just makes Marvel look really bad. And I think it's the worst that they have to offer. DC Comics, every single YA comic is just a shit show. Like, every single one. maybe the Kami Garcia comics are like not that bad. They're still kind of bad, but like they're not as bad as the other ones. But then all the other ones are just like, holy shit, this is psycho. This is psycho writing. It's awful. But then on the Marvel side, the only thing I can really think when I think of like the worst of Marvel is Avengers Academy, the Marvel's voices. And you know, yeah, the other Pride stuff maybe, but like this one stands out. This one is a standout in terms of like the worst of Marvel. Just like how the DCYA section stands out as being the worst of DC. But Avengers Academy is just one comic series, and it has so much to it, you know? I'm sure not even the priest wanted to touch it. I'm sure. I can only imagine. I wish he got like video of the priest blessing it. I can only imagine what he said. Just like, please allow this comic to not cause Dannphan any pain or to be possessed by demons. Must have been good stuff. I'll have to bless it again later. We'll have to bless it every like 10 years or something just to keep the spell active. Hey Ray, hope everything's been going okay. Really, what is even good for Marvel Comics these days? I think the only notable things were making Mary Jane break up with that awful character in Spider-Man, and them making a new swimsuit special. Yeah, you know, I don't know. But I don't hear as many bad things from Marvel. Unless people are talking about the movies, usually. But I guess it's a toss-up. I feel like on the DC Comics side, it's just so much more intense when it comes to like the super bad, absolute cringe material. But maybe I'm just being a little bit biased because I've read so many DC YA comics, and I very rarely get recommend cringe Marvel comics. Most of the time, people are just recommending me to read the next DC YA. So I kind of just assume, well, there must not be as much cringe Marvel stuff to go through. But then again, maybe the actual problem is that they're not like really self-contained. They're just like all kind of random. Thanks again, Mark. I have to ask, when did your YouTube character change? It's cool looking, but I just noticed weeks ago. Yeah, it's not really been that long, honestly, since I changed it. And I might change it again. I don't really know. I just felt like I stuck with the same logo for a very long time, or icon. It's a little bit different from a logo, but and I know that the free-run video is like currently maybe my most popular video on the channel. So I figured I'll take the free-run thumbnail that I did not too long ago and maybe like reshape it to be like the new. I also like the smug face. The smug face is fun. It perfectly captures like the smugness of the channel in general. So that's the current icon anyway, and it could change later. I'm not exactly like locking it in, but I thought it would be funny to just change it up a little bit. But yeah, I think it's only been like maybe a month or two since I've changed it. And of course, like the last couple months, I also wasn't really like uploading that much. I've pulled back on the video uploads quite a lot recently. Obviously, there's been a lot going on. It happens. I will eventually be back on the horse, I think, when it comes to being more consistent with the channel and, you know, collaborating with other channels as well, because people think that I'm very isolated. I'm not isolated on purpose, I swear. I do want to collaborate with people and do streams with other folks and stuff like that. It's just a matter of trying to be in sync with other people and actually having courage to ask. But you know how it is. A stack of books I'm going to try to read this week, and well, if you have any recommends, send them my way. But yeah. As for DC Comics, what do they even have as of late besides crap like the Harley Quinn comic? Oh, yeah, the Harley Quinn fur comic. Ugh, man. To be alive is the hardest thing for multiple reasons since we all get born. Today is your day, happy birthday. In this new year, all the best for you. Thank you, Patrick. It sounds like you got that straight from a Hallmark card, but I'll take it. Hallmark cards are based. You read the new Heavy Metal? What do you think? I have not. I've not read it. But I saw it going around, at least on, like, I saw it, well, maybe once or twice on my feed going around. People mentioned it, you know, but I haven't read it myself. The smug face was an awesome touch. I like the one video thumbnail where it was that character in a mask. Yeah, right. Hello to Caress Lit, welcome to chat. Video Mary Jane, your video on Mary Jane was very good. I often wondered why do so many people get so many ideas from other movies, and I can see how we can spend with Mary Jane was like in those movies. Yeah, that was an interesting video to make because I do like those movies. It's just a shame that the romance was not up to current standard, I guess. And it's something that I didn't even notice when I first watched them. So when I was rewatching them, it was very, very interesting looking back and making a video commenting on all that. I think it's something that other people have noticed. And I've seen other people talk about online occasionally. But you know, it's an interesting enough topic to actually make an entire video just solely about that topic. Can you change your logo to a version of Clippy? Your next logo to a version of Clippy. Or icon? I guess that's what he means. I don't know what's a Clippy. I think why certain woke ideas are both modernist ideas come from an art that somebody can take those movies and make it into a past madness ideas. This is a little bit broken. Clippy is a current protest for right to repair? For right to repair. I don't know. There we go. We got those awkward pauses again. That's alright. So, we do have, I do have, like, other ideas going forward as far as comic stuff. There's one idea that I can't tell you about, of course, because it would be a very secret project if I was able to pull it off. But it's also one that would require a lot of that synchronization that I was talking about before, and the planning and whatnot. But I figure if I'm going to spend most of next year focused on doing more Reaper stuff, I should have something new that's coming out, and maybe I could do like a fun, innovative project during that time. Not sure. We'll have to see how it goes, I guess. But it all depends. It all depends on how creators are going to be, what their lives are going to be like in the moment. But yeah. Is there anything new? Oh, I saw that there was a Red Sonja movie. I don't know if anyone here has seen it. I have not really heard any news on it. I think I saw a screenshot shared. I don't know much about Red Sonja, but if they made a good movie, that would be nice. I empathize with fans when they have an adaptation made about something that they like and it's not good, even if I wasn't a fan of that particular IP, you know? Um, just watch the Critical Drinker review it today. What's the graphic on your shirt? Oh, this? It's like a jackrabbit. It's actually quite an old shirt, but keep it around. It's a cute design. I like it. Oh, I heard that they finally announced a release date for Silksong. I didn't react to, or I didn't watch any like announcement for it though. Maybe I can pull that up and like react to it now. Let's see. 8 days ago, release trailer. Oh my god, my background music is so big. Or so loud. Did it always... How did it get that loud? I must have hit something. Alright, let me share screen. There we go. Looking good. It's crazy. Like, it's years they like showed us the footage for this. I wonder how long of a game it's gonna be. Ooh. Yeah. Adam's not a huge fan just because he doesn't like anything that has to do with bugs, really. He has a profound hatred of bugs. But the designs are so cute. And, oh my god, the environments are, like, very nice. They give you those vibes, you know? Even though they are just kind of bugs. We go. September 4th. So I'm not even going to be here when it does come out. But hey, that's so big because they spent so long with no new news on Silksong. So the fact that it's coming out, they have a release date, and it's actually very, very soon that it's gonna actually be out for people to play. That's gonna be very fun. Definitely going to play that game on the Dannphan's channel. If you want to watch me play it, of course, go to there's the gaming channel link down below in the description. Feel free to come hang out. Now, I will not promise that I will be good at it. I never finished the what do they call it, the like White Castle section in the first game. I was just like, you know what, I don't hate myself that much. Not a platformy ish person, just not doing it, not today. And then I never went back to it. I got like the fake ending where it's like you don't complete everything, so it's, I don't know, not a good ending, I guess, but it's good enough. You ever finished Sonic Adventure 2? Oh, you know I didn't. It's, yeah, it's another one of those games where it's just like, you know what? Not today. Maybe someday. Not right now. The frustration is a little too much, but, you know, You keep note that this is developed by a very small team. Yeah, although granted, they did get a lot of funds from the first game. And I think they also fundraised Silksong, didn't they? I think they did. But I mean, obviously Hollow Knight was a very popular game, so I imagine a lot of people bought it. So in theory, you could get more people on the team and, in theory, get a game done much faster. There are some reasons why you maybe wouldn't want to do that, because maybe you don't want outside influence to come in and ruin what you have going when it comes to making a game, or ruin your workflow. If people don't get along, it's a whole thing. But in theory, with more money, you can get games done faster. It's really fun to watch you play. It's a game I'd love to play, but probably won't end up doing it. Ha! Well, no problem. You can experience the game through me. I really did like the first game. It's a shame I'm not much of a platformer, so I didn't get the true ending. But that's fine. I'll still enjoy it, even if I don't get the true ending, for sure. So, Silksong. There we go. I also finally set up an official Dannphan Discord. It's still a little bit jank. I haven't gotten everything figured out yet. The one thing, the one or two things that I still need to figure out is bot to post whenever I have a new video out. And then I still need to figure out the fan club private section of the Discord, because eventually I wanted to add an additional tier to the subscribe star where people could subscribe and then get access to the private part of the Dannphan Discord, where they can post their comics for early critique or beta reading, or there would also be private streams on the Discord for drawing or doing watch along type stuff, or whatever else, if people had other ideas for things to add to the private Discord that was possible for me to do. Obviously can't do impossible things, but I thought that would be very fun. But right now I have an overall functional Dannphan Discord. If you wanted to join that, if you were interested in being a part of a Dannphan Discord, bunch of very simple channels you can join in, post your dank memes and whatnot. Those games look super fun, but completely not for me. Well, sometimes it's like that, right? I do kind of like the Souls-like games, and the Metroidvania type games are pretty fun for me. And the 2D animation, man, I have such a soft spot for that hand-drawn stuff. So it did latch on to me quite a bit. The only thing is, I feel like, and personal preference here, I feel like things can be a little bit happier. Just because you're doing somewhat of a Souls-like game doesn't mean that it has to be sad per se. Too many of these Souls-like, it always ends with everything's dark and gruesome and everyone's gonna die. It's can you chill the fuck out? You're a bug. You're a cute cartoon bug. Let's chill for a bit. But also a lot of Hollow Knight's lore is kind of just up to interpretation. It's just vaguely melancholic, which is enough for a lot of people, I think. You could very much make the same argument for a lot of Dark Souls games, where it's kind of vaguely melancholic. There's this funny thing with video games where so many of them, they don't have a head writer working on the game's story. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that the actual writers who shape the lore and shape like what the story is for the video game are basically the same people who are doing item descriptions and other random notes that you find along the game. But they're all not guided by a head writer to make sure that they're, you know, to make sure that everything makes sense. So they're all just doing their own thing and then just adding to whatever lore that they've decided just exists in the moment. Which is why you get like examples in video games where there will be two different things that contradict one another, and then you listen to a soft-spoken British boy on YouTube trying to do like lore explained videos, and he's like, oh well, the reason why these two things contradict each other is because one of them is lying. Oh, it's actually much deeper than you think, you know? But no, it's just because they fucked up. In actuality, you do kind of, if you want to do something with a story, you should probably know what the story is ahead of time. Like, you should probably have a head writer who keeps everybody in check to make sure that, you know, a bunch of your writers don't just accidentally write two things that contradict one another. But, you know. There's a website which tells you how long a game is, how long to beat. Well, that assumes that the game is already out, though, right? Because if Silksong isn't out yet, then I can't imagine people know how long. I mean, maybe the developers like list their time like approximately whatever hours to beat based on like their own time when they were beta playing it. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes they do that for like visual novels. They like give you an approximate time to like beat the game. But very often I see people just post the word count to those visual novels, and it's like, well, you know that this doesn't really tell me that much. I guess maybe if I compare it to other visual novels, I can get a general idea of how long it is, but there's a thing that people who write actual novels do as well. They like post their word count instead of a page count to give people a general idea of how long it is. It's very funny. But yeah. So feel free to join the Discord, as I've said before, and come hang out, post your dank memes, promote a comic that you want to promote, all the things. I'll be like working on making the Discord better and better as I learn how to do things on Discord. I was never really a big Discord-y person. I'm going to try to use it a little bit more, though. Maybe it'll be better than what... I know that YouTube has like a community thing, which is supposed to replace a Subscribe Star or replace a Discord or whatever, but I'll try to make the Discord actually work, because YouTube is not going to be very nice to me as usual. They're going to take a massive cut if I do it through YouTube. And that's fine for some people, but for me, it's just, you know, not super into it. And hey, if you're on X, aka Twitter, give me a follow. Give me a follow. Don't follow me. I should change this icon too. Should change this. Should I change it to the Freeren icon? Or should I make another icon just for Twitter? I know some people do that. Some people will have different icons depending on like the different accounts. And I always find that to be kind of confusing. But it is fun, I guess. You get to have different art pieces that you're showing off based on the different account. And you can see my epic posts, man. Yeah, you don't want to miss out on my epic posting. So feel free to follow me on the socials. Never keep your eggs in one basket. Diversify. Oh, when it comes to like the different icons. X is why we all. X is it all we have. Why is it all we have? Oh well. Well, I've always liked this more than Instagram. I have an Instagram as well, if you prefer that. I just, Instagram is just for posting pictures, basically, and the algorithm is kind of garbo. It's, it's one of those websites that focuses on showing you, like, kind of wholesome stuff, which in general, I enjoy, like art stuff, nice videos, stuff like that. Obviously, I kind of use it as like a makeshift portfolio for art. But it's not like I can make detailed, long posts about subjects that I'm interested in. Whereas X, aka Twitter, I can do that. I can post an art post, or I can like talk about something that I'm interested in and have discussions that I'm interested in. So, it's just different, I don't know, different vibes, I guess, different things that it satisfies for me. I'm more interested in having those conversations most of the time than I am in just posting picture, getting a like, and having nobody comment on it. That's another thing about Instagram. Nobody comments, nobody clicks links. It's very rare that you get someone to actually go to your website through Instagram. It happens sometimes, but not very often, So it's a little bit more difficult to market yourself on Instagram. And I know somebody who's like a genuinely good artist. I've had them on the channel before, I think, and he talked about this. But basically, he did the whole paid account for Instagram, which allows you to advertise on Instagram. And he would get so many likes, but not any clicks to his website. Not any clicks, not any people going to like buy his comics or even look at his comics, right? And that's just kind of how Instagram is. It's just kind of people liking a post and then scrolling to the next post. They don't really go any further than that. And it just feels a little bit vain. It just feels so shallow. You're just liking pretty picture, but you don't explore that much into the account. So that's the only real issue I have with Instagram. It's good for like looking at a bunch of pretty pictures. But I don't feel like it's really that good for promotion. But you know how it is. Insta is rather nosy about who people are. Mark Zuck wants to know everything about people. That is a little bit creepy. They all have same level of rage bait, but X seems to have the most engagement from my experience. I discovered Dannphan on X. Oh, interesting. X does have a lot of engagement, I'll give it that. And I'm in it for the engagement. People say that you shouldn't be on X just because of people doom posting on there. I think that has a lot more to do with who you're following, and it's part of the reason why I try to keep my own account fairly clean when it comes to politics and things happening in the world, because that this is the reality of the situation, is that not everybody wants that on their timeline all the time. Not everybody wants the sad news when they're scrolling through their account. And I usually don't encounter that type of news because I just don't follow people who post that kind of stuff. A lot of the accounts that I follow are just other indie comic creators, just art accounts, just people that I'm interested in seeing work from. And, yeah, not so much the Doom post. So it more so comes down to what you choose your timeline to be like. Obviously, there are some like things that are out of your control, like if you're following someone who's normal at first and then all of a sudden they just completely lose their mind and start posting like crazy stuff, you know, then you hit the unfollow button. But you know, overall, in general, you're crafting your own timeline, and that's the idea of it. But you know, X has live shows now. Very good. Yeah, I have like maybe once or twice checked out a live show on X. Not very often though, you know. Usually when I'm scrolling through X, it's not because I have a lot of time to sit down and listen to something for an hour, but every now and then there's like something on there and I'm a little bit interested in, and I listen to more of it. I think you were a guest on a YouTube channel when promoting years ago is how I find you. Yeah, maybe. I should be on more people's channels, honestly. But that's one of those things. You might not be help by unfollowing. Don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like if somebody's just like posting crazy stuff and I unfollow them? Well, the idea is not necessarily to help them. That's up to their friends and family to do that. It's not up to the internet to help them. I don't know this person, you know? If I knew this person, I would talk to them in person and I would explain like, look, bro, this is crazy. Stop. Get some help. Name automatically made me think of Dannphan. That is the origin story, the great origin story of Dannphan. Although it kind of lost its meaning after a while because I don't post any videos about Dannphan anymore. I used to. I mean, it was one of my favorite cartoons when I was growing up. Nowadays, you know, I think it's been a while since I've watched it, and I went back to it at one point, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. But, you know, it's not as much of a, oh my god, this is amazing, as it was when I was a kid. I was just like, yeah, this is fine. There's a couple things that I've rewatched that's kind of like that experience. Let's see, at one point I rewatched, like, The Lion King. I remember when I was a little kid, oh my god, when I was a little kid, loved The Lion King, right? I was one of those kids that crawled around on all floors and pretended to be a lion and shit, right? We watch it as an adult and I'm like, yeah, it's alright. Yeah, they're lions. Yeah, it's okay. You know, not nearly as much of an emotionally moving masterpiece as I remembered it, but it's okay. But you know. Alright, guys. So we are reaching the end of the stream at this point. I know it's been a pretty fun stream. I'm satisfied. So hopefully I'll have more comic news for you guys soon. But for now, I'll just leave it here. There's another lighthearted video coming out next week, but there is not going to be a Friday with Dannphan next week because I will be gone at a convention. But no worries, I'll be back later, and then we can party it up all over again, right? And hopefully there's more news when that day comes. I'll tell you all about the convention when I'm back. Can you ask Adam if he's got any updog for me? Yeah, I'll let him know. But yeah, go join the Discord. Follow me on socials. I'll post like in the moment updates on everything. And then I'll see you again next time. Good night, everybody. I gotta get going.